I've lost my identity. All right. This stinks. This stinks. I have no clue what to do. I tried to do my hair today. I don't do my hair usually unless I'm going somewhere or filming, and I work from home, so I didn't realize how dire the situation was, but my spikes are gone. My spikes are gone, and I have no clue when the salons around here are opening up again. Thank you, COVID-19. So, total embarrassment aside, first and foremost, if you haven't seen last week's video, please go ahead and check that out. I'll put a little white floaty thing above my head right now, and I will also put a link in the description below. All right, did you go watch it? Good. Or did you already see it? Even better. So, in watching last week's footage, you'll notice it was pretty mixed in terms of colonial versus 1800s relics. And well, we know now, without a shadow of a doubt, that a patriot lived at this house. What we didn't know is that we might have some Civil War occupancy. Not something you see every day in Connecticut at a permission. I found a few relics to substantiate my theory that a Civil War veteran occupied the home sometime in the 1800s. So without further ado, let's hop in. All right, back at the GW site today. Naturally, I really had to give it a shot again as soon as possible. And first target was bringing up a 50s signal. And we have another clasp. Oh wow, that one's actually really nice. Dirt stays off, patina stays on. Or dirt wipes off, patina stays on. Let's see, can we get a patent date here? 92 and 95 again, maybe? 18? Cool, good first target. Only been here a couple of minutes. I'll let you know what's next. All right, next target here. One of the usual suspects at any 1800s home. Deep down the hole with a whole bunch of ants. Got a very, thicker than I thought harmonica reed. Hey, it's complete. That doesn't happen a lot. Pretty cool, actually. Nice patina to it. Not one of the cheap ones that just fall apart in your hand. Detectorists will know what I'm talking about. All right. It's not bad. Okay, let's keep going. You know, normally I don't film iron, but this is a pretty cool relic. This is a colonial knife. And I'm assuming it's a dinnerware knife. So at least that's what it looks like to me. I thought there was a little bit of bone scale left, but that looks like it's all gone away. But it's really thick and in really good shape. Or maybe it's some other kind of knife. I don't know, because the dinnerware knives don't usually have this bump right here, but been wrong before. Either way, that's pretty cool. I might restore that one. All right, on to the next. All right, not too far away from my last target, I got a 60s signal. Really, really loud. And it's this piece of brass. Whatever that is. It's hollow, or used to be. And I'm not sure. Every time I see one of these, I'm like, ooh, it's a sword scabbard, but I'm probably wrong. I don't know. Hopefully I'll figure that out. If I haven't figured it out, though, and I haven't put an ID up on the screen, give me a shout. Help me out. Leave a comment. So let's take a closer look at that really unassuming piece of brass. What you can't see is that there are very fine lines as a decorative pattern on here. I know you are not going to be able to see that. I'm not even going to try. But you know what I pulled out? I have a bayonet. Who doesn't have a bayonet laying around? Sucker if you don't, because these are really cool. Anyway, just to give you an idea of where that brass piece would be when I say scabbard throat, because I couldn't find an image without copyright issues online. The Civil War varieties would typically have some kind of piece of brass that looked like this, right around there, and this is the throat section of the bayonet. This is a little bit of a different style. This is a later style, I believe it's 1870s, and right here, where it would have attached to somebody's belt, instead there would have been a stud here with a hole through the side of the bayonet throat. Now, this does not have a hole, but the other option is it could have been the tip. Whoops. The tip. In any event, I did consult some people that hunt Civil War relics on the regular, and that's what they thought it was, so I just figured I would show you where it went on a bayonet. This thing is cool. I love it. I love it. Well, I just tripped across one of the other usual suspects. Just a few inches down, we have a spoon. And, ooh, that's mangled up quite a bit. That's all right, I'm sure the mower got it. Actually, this is quite an older one. This is probably about 1820s to 1840s. Oh yeah, that's a nice old one. Okay, too bad it's all bent up. But I'll take it. I'm on the very edge of the property. That's the road, so you'll have to bear with me with the road noise. And only about 4 inches down, I got about maybe like a 23, 24 signal. I thought it was going to be junk, and it's absolutely not. It is the cutest. It's got to be a child's thimble. And I think this is colonial just based on the shape. That's awesome. You know, kids back then they had a job to do and they did it. It's so cool and it's in perfect shape. That's a day maker right there. I don't dig a lot of thimbles. I've dug maybe 4 or 5 in the last 3 years, but never one that tiny. That is so cool. I love it. Okay, so I got a 60s to low 70s signal about 8 inches down. Pulled it out of the hole. And we have what appears to be a fired musket ball. You can tell because the edge is flat there. I think that's a 69 caliber. I can't really tell. Tough to see. But definitely a nice find. Okay, back with you soon. All right, not very far away from that musket ball. I got a 50s signal, and it was deep down in there, about 6 or 7 inches. And it's this tiny little clasp of some kind. I guess it's a buckle kind of day, or a relic kind of day, I should say. It's cool. I don't know what that exactly is, but it's old. The patina is right, so probably original to the house. Very cool. All right, next target, not very far away from that clip that I just found. It was about 6 inches down. Kind of missed it pinpointing. It was on the sidewall. And as I was digging with my hands, this popped out. This big old thing. Whoa. That is fancy. Wow, check that out. I love that. Whatever it is. Let's see, will the back tell us? I'm going to go with bridle rosette because you can see where the attachment pin would have been right there. That is beautiful. Wow. I'm not sure what that's meant to represent, but that's super cool. I love that. Okay, so I did do some research on this piece, which is a beautiful horse bridle rosette. And it just seemed like that design had to have some kind of meaning or significance. Turns out it absolutely does. These tassels were meant to represent the tassels on hats. So cavalry hats. I'm going to throw one on the screen for you right now. I believe this is an officer's hat that we're looking at, if I'm not mistaken. If I am, certainly correct me, but you see how the tassels echo this design. Pretty cool. And in fact, this is listed pretty much everywhere online when I found an example exactly like this as Civil War or Civil War cavalry officers rosette. So that was unexpected. Moving right along. All right, I got a 20s to 40s signal, about 4 inches down. And there's something here that looks like it might be some piece of fancy brass. It is falling apart though. Wow, there's going to be no saving this at all, but it looks like it's part of a suspender clasp. Ooh. Oh yeah, wow, that would have been very fancy. Well, maybe I can save at least this part. This other piece where my thumb is fell off, but that's pretty. So, hopefully I can at least save that. All right, moving on. And my next plug, which was another 8-inch plug, I got a 20s to 40s signal. I think it is a flat button. Yep. can see where the shank used to be there. And I can't tell if there's anything on the front. Looks plain to me, but if I find something else on there, I'll come back and let you know. Alright guys, moment of truth. Another 8-inch plug there. It was bouncing between a 66 and a 72. Pretty solid, really loud. That's a dandy button. This is the GW site, guys. I kind of peeked at it. I don't think it is one. But we shall see. I don't think so, but man, that's beautiful. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous dandy button. Do we have shank? Yes, we do. I'm going to brush this off. I just want to make sure. Just want to make sure. I'm like 99.9% positive, though. So maybe I won't brush it off right now after all. Gorgeous. All right. Okay, it would appear that the magic layer is 8 inches. Just got another 8-inch target, mid-50s. And I cheated. I took a peek at it, but just wanted to show you where it was. It is another toe plate, commonly referred to as a toe tap, and that would have protected somebody's boots so they could wear them for just a little bit longer. So I'll brush this off and see if there's a patent date on here, but if not, we'll just move on. Awesome. So I'm minding my business, working another line, and this caught my eye. This is a non-metal bucket lister, at least it sure looks like one. That looks like an antler shed to me. Oh, it's broken. Nuts. That's still super cool though. I don't have one of those. Well, now I do, but I didn't. Sweet. Alright, now here's an awesome piece of iron for you. It was only 4 inches down. I started to toss it in my bag because I thought it was junk. And it's not. It is a super, super old padlock. That is so awesome. I'm going to see if I can find the rest of the plate that would have swung over here. There's a keyhole right here, but you can't see it. I'm definitely going to brush this off and come right back to you. It's my first really old one. Awesome. Check that out, huh? That's so cool. So, like I said, there's a keyhole right there. This would have had a brass plate, probably, unfortunately, with a patent date. I can't find that in the hole. That swung over this to cover the keyhole. But the rest of it is all there. This is at least 1800s, if not. Could even be colonial. I'm probably going to go with early to mid 1800s, though. It's probably a fair bet. Oh, that's an exciting one. I've dug so much today that I have to actually go back to the car and empty out my pouch. It's a good day. Well, had another deep target. Very, very deep. It was between the 20s and 40s again. And this is pretty cool. I dug up all the pieces I could. It's broken. Suspender clasp. It's religious. At least I think it's a suspender clasp. I don't know. Some kind of clasp, though. It's the other piece of it right there. But that will clean up beautifully. That's different. I like it. Alright, I'm right up against the roadside again, guys, so bear with me on the noise. But I got a really loud 69 to 70 signal. It's about 6 inches deep. Look at that. That is cool. Keyhole escutcheon plate. I seem to find these a whole lot. That's awesome. I love finding those. Alright. Okay, not 2 feet from that keyhole escutcheon. Got another signal that was about 6 inches down. 20s. We have something around. It is a flat button. It's going to be early to mid 1800s, probably. If there's a back mark. I don't see one yet, but it doesn't mean one isn't there. If there's something on the front, I'll let you know. Looks fairly plain, though. All right, that's all the hunting for this week. But first, please don't check out. I know some of you like to check out at the wrap-up, and I totally understand that. Frankly, I only do the wrap-up because I had done a survey a few months ago, and most of you said you like the wrap-ups, so that's why I've still been doing them. So I understand if you tune out, but please, I could really use your help, and I also wanted to show you some cool items in the wrap-up that I didn't film, which also further substantiate my theory that a Civil War veteran lived at this home. Oh, and first, as always, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you loved this video. Now we're going to the wrap-up. All right, check out that spread. I had quite the day out there once again. Didn't film every piece, so I thought we'd throw them in the wrap-up. I did film, one of my harmonica reeds, but I find them constantly, and I know it's a boring find to most people, so I didn't film the other two. This little clip here, I have no clue what it was for. I keep seeing suspenders for pretty much everything, but I honestly have no idea. So if you know, comment below. Little end of a spoon. That's not that old. That's maybe late 1800s, early 1900s, or maybe even later than that. I don't know. This is that thing that I was calling a shed in the video. It is an antler, but as you can see here, closer, this is probably lost in a fight. So still very cool. Wish I had the whole thing, but hey, we can't complain about that. That definitely was a bucket lister for me, even though it's not metal. Alright, this was the bottom of what I assume to be some kind of lantern. There's a patent date on here of 1890, I promise. There we go. Yep, 1890. So nice old one, but it was kind of falling apart. And again, I didn't want to bore you with some of the more mundane finds. That garter or sock clip. We've got our two flat buttons, early 1800s. Another mid-1800s toe tap, just kind of, pretty similar to the one that I had found in last week's video. So those are always cool. Another suspender clasp, didn't film that. This one I did film, that's the one that was falling apart, and it actually turned out all right. It's that beautiful silver-plated religious one. And yeah, I was pretty happy with that. That's my second really, really nice suspender clasp this year that's got a ton of plating left on it. So that's pretty cool. Musket ball, are more than likely bayonet scabbard throat, which is really cool. It's falling apart, but a lot of the, the brass for these was very thin. So, and what you can't see, unfortunately, even though I did try to clean it since filming the episode, is that there are just slight decorative lines that go throughout here. And I know it's impossible to see, but they're there. So I couldn't get a shot of it no matter what I did. We have our Civil War Cavalry Bridle rosette, which just turned out beautiful with some lemon juice, which is what I always recommend. Just put that on a Q-tip, and it brought out so much plating that I didn't know was there. Again, the back is lead filled, and you can just make out where the pin would have been attached. So that is super cool. I was really happy to find the history on what these tassels actually represented. So that was awesome. Okay, we have our beautiful dandy button. It wasn't a GW, but you know what? I'll take it because this is a nice one. It's really, really thick. You can't really tell how thick it is. But that's one of my nicest dandy buttons to date. Hands down. So I really, really love that piece. Of course, our baby thimble. How cute is that? You can really get an appreciation for how small it is. I mean, that wouldn't even fit on my pinky. So that's nice. And the fact that it was totally intact and not smashed or cracked or anything was really awesome. Now, back to these cartridges. I know I was showing you some of these over there, but I did a little research, and it looks like, along with the couple of pieces which might point to Civil War occupants living in the home, not Civil War activity per se, but people who lived in the home that served in the Civil War. I believe the one on the left, which is measured at 56 caliber, I believe that's for a Spencer carbine. The one on the right measured at a 45, so that's either a Colt revolver or something else. But either way, these are both probably Civil War era, so that is really cool. I don't know where the heck all the bullets are. You'd think I would find those, especially given how many of these I found. I don't even know if I kept all of those. I'm pretty sure I chucked a few of them because I kept digging them everywhere. But all right, enough on the bullets. This was awesome. I was so excited for this. Still am, and I'm hoping, don't hold me to it yet, but I am hoping to do a restoration video on this using electrolysis, because that is going to be my method of choice for this piece. So really excited about that. It's too bad the plate wasn't there, because that would have had the manufacturer and possibly a patent date, but hey, we'll take what we can. This is in incredibly good shape in comparison to many that I have seen. Doug, our keyhole escutcheon, and a pretty early spoon, like I said, based on the style. It's probably 1820s to 1840s. And that is quite enough time for a wrap up. We're at 5 minutes here, sorry about that, but that was a heck of a spread. So how about that? Bullet casings aren't always junk, or bullet cartridges, I should say. So I've actually held on to the pile of bullet cartridges that I showed in the video, and I'm going to keep them and put them with my Civil War stuff, because I think they are all of that era, at least the larger one I was showing you, which is most certainly a Spencer carbine. And with all that said, I really hope you enjoyed this week's episode. So stay safe, stay healthy, get a haircut when you can, because this just feels awful. And we will see you next week.